Look, John, this is a bad situation here. You know, something going on with this particular, but I heard one of these people who gets into their minds or everything. There isn't any more tax anymore. Any unpleasant tax. They don't get anything all the tasks, wouldn't they? They put them onto the risk. No risks. Or anything else they don't. They couldn't get too far, aren't they? 'Cause they now know that somebody else who gets into their minds. Or anything else who gets in there. Who knows? 'Cause I now know. But what they mean is now, John. 'Cause they didn't get into that point. Nothing. If they needed money. 'Cause they decided to not to make any money. Or any kind of assistance. So I now know. There is some kind of problems. So literally, some other people might want to know who gets into their assistance. So for now on, there is. So what do we know about this particular support? Anything? Well, by the way, Austin, there is no support. I do really have to apologize for all these stuff for a reason. Any organization hasn't been here completed. Well, but we completely have to make anything on our ways to be on a suicide. We're physically made it. But unfortunately, we don't. As I say now, Austin, but we should make our own ways to make everything suffered. But it's too late. But we can't suffer everybody in a whole region. Anybody else, if they have their regime, because anybody else who gets into their places. So I now know, Austin, it will be more difficult to make the ways to liberate the provinces. Because I'm losing control. Because one of my thugs told me, what it's going on, what it's happening on down here in South Carolina. The overpass was protected because Jason did this. Because I now know, Austin, Jason done this. Because I blamed him for protecting the overpass. Because for now, all my thugs were not good for liberating the South Carolina province. So now, all my thugs were retreated and then getting into their territory. Because at this state, there is no way we can help them. So I now know there is a problem. But the problem is, Austin, we'll never know what's going on at this point. So we'll never know what is happening at this point. So we basically getting here for like any others. Any other guys would be here. So I now know there isn't more contracts. No elementals. No elements whatsoever. Because I now know everybody else who gets in their places. They're all dangling around. Oh well. Because I don't like people who gets into their minds or everything. So there you go. What we got here now. Because I also gets into that point now, Austin. Because if anyone who gets in that point. Because I now know that there isn't any more particulars. But though, Austin, we've lost. But we lost everything. From their particulars. You see? I told you that. Once again. Because if they're all protected the overpass. Because they're all dead. Because I never know what is going on with you, John. And this is not the real thing. Whatsoever. Because we now know what it's going on with. Because we do not know what we are going to do. After this point. So eventually. There isn't any more cases. Though it's just the other ways that we've seen. But any of them. Whatsoever. Because I'm basically getting it to this point. Whoever that was. So you know. Whoever that is. It is what it is. You hear me? It is what it is. That's what it stands for. It is what it is. Who do we know about it is what it is? Well, you know what? It is what it is. Don't believe you. I don't believe you all the time. Who gets into your mind or everything? Oh well. Nothing to be serious at all. Wouldn't it?
Listen, Austin. I don't care who you think I'm supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to be doing nothing. Because all my thugs came into my apartment yet again. Because I told him to leave and don't ever come back. That's what I just said earlier to them. But although, Austin, there is no plans for me to stop everybody. Or, if Jason stops me, who were they called? Maybe some of them. Some of these particulars don't work here anymore. Not just the whole thing whatsoever. Because I hate every people who gets into their minds. Who knows? Because, yes, everything. It's all the changes in their minds. Although, Austin, they would never know, they never suggest everything. That it's all in our minds. But we have our plans. But we have a plan to do. Our plans, we had to make them suffered. We'll have to suffer everybody in the whole place. Because we are suffering everyone. Because we take care of it as well. You hear me?
Yeah, I heard what you said. Because I now know, but if anyone else who gets in there, who never knows. If we have our plans, then it'll be absolutely done for a reason. I'm not done. If anyone who gets in there, who are we supposed to be and why do we not supposed to be doing? Because if anyone else who gets in there, who knows? But we do not know what we are going to do after this particular terms. But not any of these conditions. But if they have their distances, who knows? But we'll never know what we are going to do. Because we now know what we're thinking of. Because from now on, we have just failed to liberate the South Carolina province. I know you just failed all the time, John. Don't get angry at some point. You never know, would you? But at this point, Austin, we have a plan. We'll make the rights to make the claims. I will suffer Jason. Then I will suffer everybody in the whole world and peace.